so what if I were to tell you that there is a way to light a fuse within the explosive power of your belief? A way that will launch you from one level of creation to the next while magnifying every beautiful possible thing. Well, today, attracting explosive excellence to manifest your best life in 3, 2, 1.
Pushing the boundaries of expectations and rewriting the rules of adventure are the reasons we get up in the morning. This is a way of life, a huge and growing community of explorers and adventurers, leading the way, blazing new trails, and raising the bar. We share your hunger for a life without limits, and we know you'll stop at nothing to get there.
Greetings, KB creators from all four corners of the world. I'm Stephen Canyon. Glad you could join us for another adventure of attracting our best lives. If you'd like to send an email, kineticbelief@stephencanyon.com gets it there. stephencanyon.com is the website. Miss Maggie, what are you doing?
What?
How are you?
Good.
Good. Happy sunshiny Friday. Beautiful out.
Happy Friday.
Yeah,
Woo.
Here it is, weekend time.
I feel like we need special music and people's voices screaming for Friday.
We do, don't we?
I
Special
don't know why.
music and screaming voices.
Like, yay.
In the right way.
It's Friday.
Wow. I was just I was just thinking, boy, what a time we're living in that I really get a laugh out of it. That, I'll say, can I make you a drink? And I'll pop open a can of LaCroix. And you say, sure, how about I build us a fire? And you turn the light switch or the switch on the wall and the fire blazes.
We're going to be soft. It's making us soft.
You think so?
I tell
A
ya.
little squishy? So funny.
So convenient.
You remember the other day, we were talking about in the podcast how amazed we were that it snowed on us, and talking about we want snow cream, we want to go sledding, we want to ski and snowshoe and all that. It was just a dusting, not enough to do any of that.
No.
But the desire is there.
Oh, yeah.
Well, right after we finished the podcast, you took me out for breakfast, which I paid for.
And someone else cooked.
And someone else cooked.
Yes.
But anyway, went into this really small little diner.
Yeah.
And, there's probably, 6 tables there. And then there was one table that had a bench seat where you could sit probably 6 people at the bench table. And because of the social distancing and all that stuff, they, you'd have to sit with somebody, but, with a little bit of space between you.
Yeah, it's a bench seat, like up against a wall. So
we walked in, and all the tables were taken except for the very end of the bench seat table. So we sat down, and you passed me a note across the table.
Well, and I keep a notebook with me because if I have a thought about kinetic belief, anything, I have to write it down or it's going to drive me crazy. So I jotted down a little note.
And you slid it across the table,
Yes.
and we were sitting next to a couple.
Yeah.
And I sat down on the bench seat, and there was a lady about 3 or 4 feet away from me.
Yeah.
And you slid the note across the table, and I looked at it, and it said,
I think that's Lindsey Vonn.
So
the Olympic skier.
I cut my eyes, and guess what?
It was.
Lindsey Vonn. I'm sharing the bench seat with Lindsey Vonn, the most
gosh.
decorated women's skier in history with 82 World Cup event victories,
Gosh.
20 more than anybody else.
It was epic, right?
How cool is this?
So
We
surreal.
wanted snow. We couldn't get the snow, but we got the snow queen.
Yes.
Instead.
Yes.
That's the power of attraction, isn't it?
It sure is. I've never been that close to someone that accomplished. Just with that many titles.
Well, that was really cool.
What an athlete.
Well, but now wait a minute, because about 15 minutes later, and now Lindsay was sitting there, and you could hear that she's talking with her agent.
Yeah.
So a few minutes later, guess who comes through the door? It was Michaela Schifrin. She comes dancing through the door. And for those of you who don't know who Michaela Schifrin is, 2-time Olympic gold medalist, World Cup alpine skier, 3-time overall World Cup champion, the 4-time reigning world champion in slalom, and 6-time winner of the World Cup discipline title.
They just keep coming through the door.
This is good. I'm thinking, this is cool. We shouldn't leave. We need to see who's next.
Right. Tiger Woods is coming through the door next.
So cool.
Probably the thing that I thought was really funny, though, is a lot of times when we're out to breakfast or dinner, you can always every now and then feel someone sort of like giving you the side eye, and they're looking at you, Steve, and they're trying to figure out who you are, and they recognize you, and they're trying to figure it out. And so it was sort of funny, like maybe halfway through the meal, they all sort of took turns and stood up in the corner of the hallway pretending to get coffee or something, looked so that they could see you because their backs were to you. And I thought that was so funny because we're going, oh my God, it's Lindsey Vonn, and they're getting up going, is that? I think it is. Is that?
Well, that's hilarious.
Isn't that amazing?
That is so funny.
I love it.
Well, it kind of rubs off on you when you're that close to excellence, doesn't it?
Oh my goodness.
It's inspiring, right?
It's electric. You can just sense it. I mean, the accomplishment, that level of human being is hard to put into words.
Pretty darn cool. Well, that's motivated me to date. I want to talk about attracting explosive excellence. And I'm not talking about attracting, Lindsey Vonn or Michaela Schifrin to come in. No, the explosive excellence, the quality of being outstanding or extremely good that's already within all of us. As an individual uniquely created, all of us have the substance of outstanding qualities. We all have the blueprint of excellence that's been deposited on the within. The extremely good thing, which is the one-of-a-kind you that already exists, the essence of our excellence, it's not some type of version of ourselves. It's not something that maybe we can go out and earn with enough practice. It's not a destination. It's not the character of someone else that you admire either. No, the overall holistic you, original version of you that came into the natural is excellent. That first version is excellent without blemish. And since that excellence already exists within us, it's also available to you to establish into the land of the living. So the creation of that thing, of that excellence, is the decisions of our choices that we make every day. In other words, it's up to us to become what already is excellent.
I love that. Another way that you hear some people say that is they go into beast mode.
Yeah, I'm in beast mode.
I'm in beast mode.
Well, why do we ever come out of beast mode? No, the beautiful thing is if you're alive and breathing, you've caught glimpses of your excellence before. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know that it's in there, even if you've never stepped into it to inhabit that, or you know that it's there.
Yeah.
You've imagined it before. And I'm not telling you something you don't already have an intimate knowledge of. You know that you're different. You know other people don't really know the real you. I mean, that is a given. There is a character most likely that's suppressed that represents all that we really are. So how do we locate in order to release that excellent one? What must we actually do in order to manifest our excellence? Operating in a belief that does not change, the kinetic energetics of belief, we align ourselves upon the creative plane with our thoughts. And we do this by forming a conception of ourselves as being outstanding in whatever endeavor we are putting our actions toward. In other words, if it's a labor, then we hold the thoughts which are in full harmony with a conception of excellence where the action of our labor is concerned. A character of excellence will attract excellence into our lives. So whether it's cleaning the kitchen or downhill racing, the conception of excellence establishes the advancing mind, body, and soul.
Wow, and I love that you're sort of giving us this idea of, we all know what that feels like to be in that explosive excellence frame of mind, because we all have some sort of arena that we've experienced that in our lives before. And so this idea that we can sort of connect to that and allow it to inspire us in other areas. Like, for example, when I go to a gym, I just go crazy. I love working out. Once I get there, lifting, weight training, I love it. I mean, I excel every expectation. The issue is getting to the gym.
Once I get there. Once I get there.
But it just illuminated that within me, that I can overlay that mentality and that sensation in anything in my life. And we can grow this. And it's that maintained thought form.
Well, excellence, it begins and actually ends with thought forms. It's the way that we think about things. In other words, Never think of yourself as sick or even as likely to be sick. Never think of yourself as someone who is in lack or poverty. Never think of yourself as unhappy or weak. You can't see yourself or think of yourself in these ways. The expectation of excellence manifests the abundance of life. So be grateful for the winning results of excellence in advance, in the present tense, and claim those effects of wholeness in every area of your life. And as the life-giving energetics of that flourishing excellence begins to show up, and that's the thing that has been abundantly bestowed upon everyone in every area, and we tap into that and align with that, with the love of our Creator, by simply deeply being grateful for excellence at all times.
Well, and that's such an important point, isn't it? This idea that you cannot allow yourself, we cannot allow ourselves to even have a moment of thinking about poverty or sickness. And then you followed it up perfectly with saying, we have to claim those energetics of excellence. So I'm assuming that's how we're going to nip those thoughts, because you do have to do it very quickly. The moment that they show up, the moment that suggestion shows up,
yes,
we have to grab it.
That's right. This is the way of the abundant life for the kinetic believer.
Yeah.
This is the way of life. By continuously being mindful, by keeping the blueprint of our manifesting journal before our eyes and in our hearts, the things which suggest the ideas of excellence, that adds to and it manifests strength and health. Look, it's the attitude of excellence that understands that, first things are first. First things are first. Excellence is first, so that's first. The attitude is the way of life. So what does the energetics of excellence look like on a KB Creative? Well, to the observer, maybe at work, or people in your family, people that know you, to the observer, highly excellent people seem to have it all figured out.
Yeah.
And there can be explosions of noise and chaos going on around them, but they're the ones that barely break a sweat. And to the casual observer, they appear to be going about the business of their calm and collective excellent selves while everybody else is running for cover. Well, this is what separates the kinetic belief creative from the average. Our priorities are first things first. You know who you are. You know what you want. You delight in every challenge. Your desires are imagined. Your words are things, and you are entertained by the excellence of your actions. And most of all, we never waver to become double-minded regarding our sense of purpose.
What would you say to the listener they're agreeing with everything you're saying, but they're going, I've just never experienced that feeling, that sensation of excellence. I don't even know where to begin to reach down and grab that. I mean, there's nothing there. What do I do if I've never had that experience before?
I would say I'm so excited for you because you're about to. Because keep listening. Instead of being bogged down by the expectations of other people, KB Creatives keep their stress levels in check by focusing on the excellence of their highest viewpoints. In other words, they are observant with the imagination, and they see all things, all good things, as being possible. Not just wishful thinking, but this is a reality for me. This is possibility for me. In other words, to the onlooker, the KB Creative, you just aren't normal. There's something wrong with you that you're not freaking out like the rest of us. And they'll say you're peculiar. You're actually predictable in an unpredictable way. You're steadfast, but not in the way of other people. I was 20 years old when I got my first job in radio, and I was on the air 6 days a week, 6 hours a day, from 6 a.m. until 12 noon. And I can't tell you how important the kind of music that I was playing was to me. Because you're going to hear it in the middle of the night when you're sound asleep. So that's a lot of airtime. But there were a lot of days, Meg, where I just didn't feel up to the task.
Sure.
Of going in and being on. Sometimes I came in tired. Well, actually a lot. I came in tired from not getting enough sleep from the night before. One of the first things I learned was the spirit of excellence was first about expectations. And I learned that if I fell short regarding putting my well-being first, not getting enough sleep, not eating right, not whatever, at an early age I was doing a lot of things wrong. Trust me.
We all were.
But my personal demand of excellence, it still came first. And so there were days while I was learning, there were days where I would lay my head on the console, open up the mic, and let it rip with the energy of a circus ringmaster. But if you could see me laying there in a puddle of my spit, you would have thought, well, bring the stretcher. This guy is in need of help. But it sounded great. Every single human creative on the planet has the innate ability to highly excellent people, to be a highly excellent person, to become motivated by a focused desire to manifest their original genius of purpose, their abundant life.
You know, the way that you described that, it almost gives us the sense that the original genius of purpose is something, it's almost like it's a little person inside of you. And that excellence is something you can just sort of call to action at any time. And I love that visual of you just sort of being draped over a chair. But it's still...
Thank you.
But still, you know, pushing excellence out no matter what, that's an amazing thing to consider.
And this is a person that's not being led by feelings, not being led by emotions. But let me say this right here. As you continue to develop and grow as a kinetic belief creative, your health and well-being it's going to also become a first thing first component of your manifesting journal. In other words, if I had been putting my health and well-being and many of the other areas of my life first early on, when I was in broadcasting and radio, then I probably wouldn't have had to reach down deep and challenge myself to be the circus ringmaster of the airwaves. So the habitual practice of visualizing yourself advancing in your body will attract the desire for regular exercise, the desire to eat healthy, and the desire for meditative activities and hobbies are going to also be revealed to you in alignment with your desire to be excellent in every area of life.
Wow, I love what you're teaching us right now, that this idea that the law of attraction is going to work for you in every single area from every angle, really. So that, you know, because I was really loving what you were saying about making sure that your nutrition, your sleep, taking care of yourself, your self-care is going to back up your manifesting power. But then you took us right back to the idea that you're manifesting that too. Those high levels of expectation for that excellence, they're going to manifest everything you need.
That's right. That's the thing about desiring excellence, is it begins to permeate into every area of our lives. And so the desire for exercise becomes us. It's just like happiness becomes you. Joy becomes you. Unconditional love becomes you. The appetite for good, healthy food becomes you. These aren't pursuits anymore. Right. It's that holistic viewpoint for our best life from that highest place, that holistic desire for excellence that begins to permeate every area of our lives.
Well, and I have to say, that's just this huge shift from what society tells us eating right is. You know, when you think about eating healthy and eating right, you just sort of imagine yourself sadly gnawing on some celery. But, you know, the law of attraction and kinetic belief is going to shift those cravings and shift those desires. It does all this heavy lifting for you.
Yeah, the world will present you with diet plans. They don't work because it doesn't become you. No, these things will become part of us. It's a natural hunger for advancing our body, which is part of our best life journey.
Wow.
You might be sitting there thinking, well, I just don't know where to begin. Steve, you and Meg, you give me too much. Where do I start?
Sorry.
Look, let me just say, don't overthink the process of attraction, okay? Begin writing in your journal outward expressions of your best life viewpoint. Journal with gratitude and the purpose to really live. It will begin to cover all of the requirements for kinetic belief success in your life. Simply remember to never hurry or worry, and the power of attraction within you will reveal every constructive action that will be necessary for harmonizing yourself with all you were ever meant to become. The process of attracting your best life begins where your anxiety ends.
Well, that's really encouraging what you just showed us, because I think a lot of times, even if you're a seasoned kinetic believer, you will have these moments of needing to regroup, and so this idea that you can always go back to the simple, and at least just writing your journal. Just start writing those highest viewpoints. Just start moving forward again, and it's going to catch up with you. It's going to grab you, and you're going to be shot off like a cannon all over again. So whether you're at the very beginning or you need a resurgence of this focus for manifesting.
Sure.
I love that.
And you know what? With your excitement for excellence just bubbling up on the inside, relax in that. Relax in that spirit of excellence. In the process of attracting your best life, again, it begins where your anxiety ends. In other words, KB creatives don't let the idea of potentially living out of a shopping cart intimidate them? Nothing, no opposing idea is an option for throwing a drape over the masterpiece that you were intended to be. Sure, look, as a work in progress, you might go through an occasional financial bust where all that's on the menu maybe is peanut butter sandwiches, but at least you'll feel alive. You'll feel, that thrill of the adventure and all things being possible. A KB creative who's made the deepest commitment to manifest their excellence will never take a job, for example, that they don't like just for the sake of making money. No, the KB creative has a purpose, a vision of purpose in everything that they do. In everything you do, have a vision for the purpose of excellence and determine that your character is excellent. What's happening? The energetics of excellence attracts more excellence until it's overflowing in every area to manifest the journey of your best life.
This is so interesting, this idea that you're giving us of being willing to strip your life down to the absolute minimum in pursuit of what you know you're supposed to be doing in this life. And that can be scary, for lack of a better word.
It's scary if you still have fear in your life. But as a KB creative, look, we make every thought a thought of excellence. And every conscious thought aligns with the substance of our chosen beliefs for the manifestation of excellence into our lives.
Yes.
Our health becomes excellent. Our finances become excellent. The law of attraction, which it's infallible. It follows our every internalized function of belief. The power of our life will be continually exerted toward excellence.
It almost, I want to understand this better. Are you really giving us this idea that if we're willing to give up anything and everything that we can imagine, then it's sort of placing trust in kinetic belief, knowing that it's going to be returned in the proper way, in the right way, in the way that we're supposed to be living?
What I'm saying is, look, be willing to give up anything that's not excellent. Anything that's not excellent, be willing to let it go, because then you're creating a vacuum for excellence to show up. You put your determined self, your imagination, toward excellence in every area of your life, and it begins to surround you with the substance of excellence. And so by never admitting a negative, contrary thought to the mind, it's the highly excellent people, the 1%ers, who don't engage in anything, any task, without knowing that what they're doing is exactly what they want to be doing, exactly when they want to be doing it, and exactly how they want to be doing it. You see, they have a finely tuned expectation for excellence.
You know, this is great. I love this idea that no matter what you're putting your hand to, your mind to, your body to, that you're pausing and you're grabbing that sense of excellence and you're overlaying it with every single thing you're doing. But it's also giving you this thought that it's going to take a moment, and you got to go slow maybe at first because, for example, I've talked before about playing the violin, and when I would have a very difficult new run to learn, I would have to go back to the beginning and go very slowly at first and then sort of work up to warp speed on that passage. And I get the same sensation here. I need to pause before I make dinner and think, I'm gonna make this the most excellent dinner I've ever made in my life, but I have to pause and sort of set myself into that mindset.
Yeah, the instrument is a great example, repetition and not hurrying, but repetition in the simplicity of the discipline of an expectation for excellence.
Yes, that's beautiful, isn't it?
Aristotle said, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit.
Ooh, I like that.
The desire to be excellent is the promoter of all good things. It's easy to think of going outside of ourselves to become excellent. But it's not so easy to think of going inside ourselves to meet our excellent selves. But it's in there. That's where you find it. It's the genius of your purpose that's within your soul, and you will meet that spirit of excellence should you go there. Leonardo da Vinci was called a genius in the way that few people in history have deserved to ever be called one. And even so, he was a mere mortal. He wasn't a superhuman, as some would believe. Well, how do we know that? Because Da Vinci If you look at his life, Meg, he left a trail of projects unfinished. His horse model was reduced to rubble by archers. An adoration scene and battle mural that was abandoned can still be seen. Flying machines that never flew. Tanks that never rolled. A river that was never diverted, and documents all these masterful treaties that piled up unpublished. Even so, Da Vinci repeatedly scribbled, and you can see it within many of his notebooks. He would write, tell me if anything was ever done. Tell me if I ever did a thing. Tell me if anything was ever made. Of course, the things he did leave behind were enough to prove to all of us his desire for excellence, which is the kinetic belief of genius among mortal souls. His Mona Lisa by itself proves his genius of excellence. Your best life is not the career title or the house. It's not any amount of money. Your best life is not your life partner or your child. Your best life is not your country or even your health. The genius of your excellent purpose, while pursued, while you go after it, will never be finished. It's the daily decision to journey after those qualities. That's your best life. You see, this is the place that you're going to come face to face with every possible good thing in your life. Every human creative has the wonder of themselves located within, and it's yours. And it's a marvelous thing. Everything that you will ever need for excellence is already within you. You only have to consider how to use the power of excellence that you already have. And I want to let you in on a secret. There is nothing to do but to begin. Use your perception of truth. Meditate to see some truth today, right now. You have an inkling of what that is. Meditate to see it. Live fully today up to that truth. And then you'll see more truth tomorrow. And you're on your way. You see, a single-mindedness for your excellence is vital to attracting powerful results into your life. Being double-minded is like puppies chasing butterflies, turning for bees before rolling upon feathers. While the dance of dreams may ingratiate curiosity to stimulate the senses, the soul remains caged by desires. A double-minded creative should not suppose that they will receive anything excellent that they should desire, because a double-minded person has nothing more than the energy of potentiality, which is the opposite of kinetic belief. And so they remain unstable in all their desires. If we're not single-minded about the excellence of our purpose for what we imagine without wavering, then we're not going to have any kinetic belief. This is the person who's always wondering what they're supposed to do. Double-mindedness tries to operate in fear and confidence at the same time, you see. Double-mindedness tries to function in potential energy and kinetic energy at the same time. We've all done it. We do this by making plans in the substance of fear, by preparing for failure if what we desire to come to pass doesn't happen. As long as we're making provision for failure, we're imagining mediocrity, the opposite of excellence. A kinetic belief creative never makes provision for failure. You will never find the energetics of an advancing life playing four-quarter games. No, the abundant life plays until it wins. Be determined to have excellence in your journaling for life, to live by a creed that says, I believe to see what I imagine to receive. And then don't accept anything less. This is the journey of your best life. Embrace it, and joy will become you. Happiness will follow you all the days of your life.
Wow, Steve, because of your teaching today, I feel like I am so equipped to make excellence a habit. And this really hit me right between the eyes. This is one of those podcasts I feel like I could listen to every single morning to set the tone for the day. It's just incredibly powerful to not forget what we're capable of. And gosh, just Thank you for reminding me
Oh, yeah.
of that. That's
sure.
so good.
You know, isn't
So
that
good.
it? Be excellent in your going. Be excellent in your coming. Be excellent in the field. Be excellent in the city. Be excellent at everything that you put your hands to.
And I have to say that I'm definitely guilty of when I start on a project, I sort of keep ratcheting up my energy to where it almost becomes a frenzy. And so to remember that no matter how deep you get into a pursuit, that mindfulness, slowing down, recentering around that idea of excellence is going to be the key to always succeeding, the key to always moving forward.
Absolutely. Well, let's work on some guided thought forms together. Are
let's
you
do
ready?
it.
Just
Yes.
say this. Say, I begin each day.
I begin each day.
My work.
My work.
My life.
My life.
With the expectations of excellence.
With the expectations of excellence.
With my attitude.
With my attitude.
My conversations.
My conversations.
My imaginations.
My imaginations.
And the stories I will tell myself.
And the stories I'm going to tell myself.
I have the expectation for excellence.
I have the expectation of excellence.
Within the quality of results.
Within the quality of results.
I expect to achieve.
I expect to achieve.
I expect excellence.
I expect excellence.
And I support that expectation.
And I support that expectation.
With my gratitude.
With my gratitude.
With my thoughts.
With my thoughts.
With my words.
With my words.
And my excellent actions.
And my excellent actions.
My one life.
My one life.
And my genius of purpose.
And my genius of purpose.
Is too important.
It's too important.
To settle for mediocrity.
To settle for mediocrity.
There's always opportunity.
There's always opportunity.
For excellence.
For excellence.
I look for ways.
I look for ways.
To improve.
To improve.
I enjoy making improvements.
I enjoy making improvements.
I desire improvement.
I desire improvement.
Which pushes my world forward.
Pushes my world forward.
Every day of my life.
Every day of my life.
I enjoy the cascading benefits.
I enjoy the cascading benefits.
Of my commitments to excellence.
My commitments to excellence.
I'm grateful for the excellence.
I'm grateful for the excellence.
Manifesting into my life.
Manifesting into my life.
I'm known for creating more of it.
I'm known for creating more of it.
I fully expect excellence today.
I fully expect excellence today.
And I choose to make it happen.
And I choose to make it happen. Well, if you want to make moving forward easy, grab the guided journal that Stephen was talking about today. You can do that at StephenCanyon.com, where we have many, many extra resources there, always making announcements, and you can sign up for our newsletter as well.
Attracting explosive excellence from manifesting our best lives.
Oh, I'm so ready.
I'm ready for the weekend too,
I am
aren't
too.
you?
I think I'm going to re-listen to this a few times, as so many of the KBs tell us that they do.
Sending out much love to all the KB creatives all over the world.
Yeah, thanks as usual, Steve, for all the wisdom.
Bye.